Okay, so today we're going to continue on the topic of cleaning. Like I said before, for the shells, I've used dish detergent and soapy water and a brush. I've cleaned a few chassis already, but usually I use a little CRC and scrub it, which I guess works good when the engine's together and not apart. But for today, for this, I'm going to try and actually clean it. I don't know if it's the right thing to do. Not even sure. But I'm going to try and clean this. Shit, I don't have a screwdriver with me. I'm going to actually try and... I think it'll work either. I'm going to try to clean this chassis the same way I clean the shells. And like I said, I don't know if it's the right thing to do, or if I'm going to mess anything up, but I'm going to give it a shot. I don't think it'll hurt nothing once I let it dry. So what we're going to do, I'm going to pop this cover off so I can scrub in there. I might have mentioned this before, but every time I take an engine apart that hasn't been worked on in a while, it's the same looking funk inside of there. So I'm going to soak this in here. Actually let it soak for a little bit. Like I said, I don't know if this is the right thing to do, to be honest with you, for the chassis, but we're going to give it a shot. Actually, I gotta go grab my towel, so when I'm done I can dry it off. Just when you think you're prepared enough, you have everything, you got everything you need, you don't. So, I'm going to see what this does with a little scrubby here. Scrub the white walls. And again, talking about not being prepared, I should have had the side rods off. It's been a busy day, busy week. I'm up here at my little place I do my work, and I got a little sidetracked by other things, but gotta stay motivated. Let's see how those white walls look. Anybody has any tips on cleaning white walls? Oh, that looks a little better for the white walls at least. If anybody has any tips about cleaning white walls, let me know. I use CRC, again, not sure if it's the right thing to do, but I've tried CRC on them, and that seems to have worked. That seems to make them kind of shiny. I tried rubbing alcohol. That didn't seem to do it. That seemed to make almost my one engine seemed to make them a little goofy. Just didn't seem to work right. But again, long story short, like I may have mentioned before, been into model trains my whole life, basically, since I was a little kid. And took a long time off. There was a gap for many, many years where I really didn't mess with model trains at all for quite some time. And then back around 2012, I got back into model trains. But I got into HO because I was always an HO guy, and that was always the go-to. And then about probably 5 years ago, I bought a American Flyer Atlantic at a train show, which is still my #1 engine I run all the time. Love the thing. So I bought that Atlantic at a train show just for display, just to put on a shelf, you know, Americana, American Flyer, old stuff, you know, I like the old stuff. So I bought it, put it on my shelf, just, you know, because I wanted to have an old American Flyer sitting on my shelf. Well, you know, anything with me, when I kind of like something or get into it, I kind of get into it too much. So, long story short, my HO stuff is now in a box, packed away, and everything in my place is now all American Flyer. And I started getting a few engines. I have a small fleet. I don't want to have too many, 'cause I want to keep up on them, keep them nice. So, had a few that needed work. Well, a couple guys online I ran into, good guys, good work. They did, good job. No complaints at all. I got 2 of my engines running really good. But unfortunately, with shipping these days, not only is shipping getting expensive, but I've had damage. I had damage on the way. My one engine got damaged on the way up and on the way back. And I decided I'm tired of playing their games in many ways, and I'm tired of paying their money, and I'm tired of dealing with getting my stuff broke. So I'm trying to step up my game from just being able to do maintenance to actual repair work and rebuilds, so I don't have to worry about sending stuff anywhere. So, because I've always been okay with doing basic maintenance, oil, lube, adjustments, fixing minor things, but I was never really good at doing major work. So I'm trying to get myself to that point now, and this is part of the step. So what I may do or may not do, it may not be right, but I'm learning as I go, and I'm not afraid to say I don't know what I'm doing all the time, but I think I'm getting it. Another thing with Flyer, you always want to notice, you want to get in here where the motor sits. You got a lot of stuff built up in here when the brushes wear out. You get a lot of funk in here from the brushes. So, and you see a lot of guys use these ultrasonic cleaners, which they basically, you soak it in a bag of cleaner, and you put that bag in hot water and it does something. I don't know what it does, but it does something. But, so I figured if that stuff's soaked in water, I guess scrubbing it with a brush in water ain't gonna kill nothing here. So, again, I think this is looking pretty good. I think this is doing the job. I think the white walls look cleaner, I think. Again, if anybody doesn't notice, remember this is my Hudson. A friend of mine from the train shop gave me this box of Flyer stuff, and there's this Hudson in it. Seems like the Hudson's the one everybody likes, and right next to the Northern. So, it's going to take a little... Actually, while we're at it, I got the Pilot here in the lead truck. I'm going to clean that too. What the hell? Get some regular water. Rinse this off. I could do this in a sink, but I can't really film in. I don't have an area around a sink I can film in. So, do what you do. Do what you do, where you can do it at. Work like a gypsy. Towel this off and see what we got. Well, the white walls aren't perfect, but they look better, and the frame looks good. Got most of the funk off the frame. Looks like it took a little paint off, which is always something you're going to have to deal with. But all in all, I think the little scrubby time with the dish soap works pretty good on this, on the chassis too. Can't get everywhere to dry it. Well, that looks pretty good for now. I think that looks good. Now let's try the Pilot. Like I said, this engine, I took it apart. I tried it, I cleaned it, did all the basic cleaning to try to get it working, and it wouldn't run. It showed no signs of life whatsoever. I don't know what the deal is, but hopefully when I clean everything and redo everything and put it back together, it would have fixed whatever that issue was. I'm also rewiring it. Like I said, there's the tender. The reverse was going to get all rewired. But along with it not running, I gotta find a way to add pictures into these videos. This thing, this thing was terrible. I mean, this thing had this gray dirt and funk all over this thing. It was just really, why not that clean? I don't know where this thing spent its life. But a little bit of time, a little bit of maintenance, a little scrubbing with a brush and some cleaner, and you make these old things look good. A lot of people forget. A lot of these engines you're running and working on and playing with, a lot of these things are 70 plus years old, and they were intended in the early days mostly. Adults, they weren't really designed for adults in the early days. They were basically toys for kids. So, especially in the early days before they started becoming collectible, mostly played with by kids. And you never know how kids are and how they play with stuff. Well, surprised a lot of this stuff even survived, or even survived in the condition they survived in, really. So, like an old car or anything else that's old and worthwhile, you keep on it, you clean it, keep it going as long as you can until it don't want to keep going anymore. I like old stuff. I like keeping old stuff running. I like trains. I do full-size stuff too. You name it, I play around with it. I think I took a little paint off too. I think she looks pretty good. Little OCD, so I always think I'm missing stuff. Anyway, rinse that off. You can see, I don't know if you noticed, when you look back at the videos, this water definitely is dirty. Definitely got a lot of the funk off of it. Got the funk off. Do this a little drying. Yeah, what a difference. What a difference. You can see, looks nice, almost looks new. All pretty. All right. Just out of the way. So, now that that's clean, I got other stuff to clean too. I forget what else, but there's other parts I have. Hey, you know what? I got the smoke box door, and I got the trailing truck, smoke chest, and the smoke box door all need cleaning yet. I think while we're at it, we're going to clean this too. Clean the face. You gotta have a clean face, right? See how it looks, nice and dirty. Let's see how we get her to look. I gotta fix this, the lens and the headlight. Looks like it's actual real glass. This is from the 50s. I wouldn't doubt it if it was. But I gotta fix the headlight lens too. Saw a guy on YouTube shows you how to fix it. I have to watch it again. Rip off his idea. I won't show it on video, but if I do, I'll give him credit for where I learned it. But that's how you do it. You learn, you show people, and then the people behind you, the younger people or the other people who want to learn, they learn from you. And that's how it gets passed along through generations. Looks like I got the face looking good. Little New York Central. I think recently was the anniversary of the Penn Central. You know what the Penn Central is? That's when the New York Central and the Pennsylvania Railroad were both in bankruptcy and falling apart. They merged together and formed an even bigger piece of crap, Penn Central. That railroad was around 5 years, and was not profitable at all any year. Terrible railroad. You can actually watch YouTube. There's actually a video. They did a documentary at the shops at Penn Central, at one of the shops. And while the employees are physically on the job at their work, they're talking about how bad and terrible the place is. It's kind of funny. Look at that. Looking good. Got a nice clean your face. Let that dry off too. All right, well, I think that's enough for today for cleaning. I got a lot more to clean. I mean, not bore you to death with the rest of it. But I think one of the next things I'm going to do, these tender trucks are really neat. I wonder if I just hit the one with the dry, semi-wet brush, what it looks like. This is something I keep talking about and I keep procrastinating. This has to get all unwired and taken apart because it's dirty and has this stupid air chime whistle which is coming out because it sounds dumb and the speaker's busted. So that's coming out. But anyway, so that's coming out. I'm just going to put a little weight in the back just to make up for it because I don't even know how to fix that or want to. But it's rust and dirt. If you cycle through the reverser, it wants to hang up. So either the arm needs adjusting or it needs cleaning or parts of it need cleaning. One of the things you do, guys will say this fixes everything. I don't agree with it, but it does fix a lot. Take a little CRC and you just blast it. You blast it with that, let it soak. Now this is it still hangs up a little bit. So maybe the arm needs adjusting or I just need to take and clean the whole apparatus apart. But this still isn't even close to being fired up. Still got a lot of work to do. But one thing with CRC you got to be careful with, it's very flammable. So don't be soaking your stuff with it and putting it right on the track right away or you may have a fire. But you can see how that moves in there. The barrel for the 4 positions, forward, neutral, reverse, neutral, in that order, something like that. But it's hanging, but I'll get that later. That'll be another video at another time. So, all right, well, just continuing on. The Hudson rebuild. Never thought I'd own a Hudson. Might sell it when it's done. I don't know, we'll see. Anyway, thanks for checking out. I'll see you next time.